So, Mr. Chairman, at this point, we're recording and we're live on YouTube. So as the people enter, we can start on time. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Cronin, are you able to connect?
I got you on the phone. I can't get in any other way.
All right, thank you.
I can see you, but I can't get in.
Okay.
For whatever reason, my camera's not working. Surprise.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, guys. Hello.
How you
Hi,
doing?
Jeff.
Good. Good. Thank you. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
How's everybody?
Good.
Good. Can you hear me?
Hello. Who's that?
This is Dave. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. Bernie, I am just missing Matt Rose.
We should get starting. We have a quorum. We have a quorum, right? We have
We
four
have-
people.
We have 4.
Yeah, we're all set.
Would you like me to call him?
It's up to you. If you want to go ahead, it doesn't matter. We have a quorum, so it doesn't matter. Unless you want to call him. Go ahead, give him a call.
Okay, all right, just don't start the meeting until I,
No.
okay.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Bernie, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
The meeting started already? I'm a little bit
No.
late.
No, it did
Okay.
not.
All right, okay. I'm here for Hillside.
Okay.
How are things going?
Good so far.
That's good.
but then we're going to start the meeting. Jeff doesn't have any video.
Mr. Chairman, Matt Rose will be logging in a moment.
Okay. I'll wait a minute or two.
Thank you.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hi, thank you. Mary, we're still missing a video on Jeff, Mike, and Ralph.
Um,
Well, my video was working. Hold on. I don't know what's wrong. I may have to turn off and go back in. Hang on.
Mike Mizuko, do you wish to activate your video?
Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good.
And
Hi,
Ralph,
Mike.
there he is. Ralph Gallagher, do you wish to activate your video?
Yes,
Thank you.
There we
there you
go.
go.
All right, everybody's ready, right?
Yes,
All right.
thank
Good
you.
evening. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the Environmental Impact Commission meeting. It's a web-based meeting hosted on Zoom. This is Wednesday, September 22nd at 7:05. All votes will be by roll call. We'll start with roll call. Mary Cronin, Dr. Mary Cronin,
Here.
Jeff Harold,
Here.
Matt Rose,
Here.
Alex Walk,
Here.
and myself. We have a quorum. First item is to accept the minutes of April 28th, 2021. Matt Rose, Alex, and myself are the three that were there and can vote on this. I need a motion to accept them.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll
Is there a
second. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes from April 28th, 2021. Roll call vote. Matt,
Here. Aye.
Alex,
Yes.
Ernie Gallo, yes, motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, regulated activity 1138, Danbury, 17 Hillside, Maybrook. Regulated activity 1138, Danbury, 17 Hillside, Maybrook, Housatonic Railroad or sewer line extension. Dave is here, I believe.
Sure. So yeah, thank you for being here tonight. My name is David Null. I'm a professional engineer of the city of Danbury, and I'm here representing or speaking on behalf of our consultant, Tate and Howard. Basically, this project is a sewer main extension off of Hillside Street, down across the railroad tracks to the Burton's Bridge condominiums as a way of abandoning or discontinuing an existing pump station on Hillside Street. So this application is a reapproval of a previous application that expired. And basically the sewer is going to pick up from the pump station, a manhole at the pump station, and run down behind 17 Hillside Street in a current paper road public access way that the city of Danbury owns. And then it'll be jacked, the pipe will be jacked underneath the railroad to connect up to an existing manhole that was installed several years ago as part of the new Burton's Bridge condominiums. There's a small stream that's on the downhill side of the railroad tracks, and that's why we're here today. That's all I have to add. Do you have any questions?
Let me go to Rich first. Rich, Jamie, do you have anything to add on this, or you're fine with it, or?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. So this was approved prior. Disturbance to the wetland appeared to be pretty minimal. Yeah, taking a look at it, it's within the upland review area. It doesn't appear to have a direct impact to the wetland, especially the water course there. But I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically in green is the proposed sewer, and the blue is adjacent drainage being added to pick up an existing ditch out there, just so that we don't have any problems with erosion just below our new sewer.
Anyone have any questions? I think we could approve this administratively. Unless someone has something they want to say. Could you take that down, Dave, please?
Yep.
Anyone have anything they would like to say on this?
Nope, I'm good.
No.
Mr. Chairman, is this a public hearing open to members of the public?
No, no, it is not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, please continue.
If someone wants to suspend the rules, he can obviously speak. Okay. Any questions? Motion's in order to approve it administratively.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve regulated activity 1138 for administrative approval. Any remarks? Roll call vote. Dr. Cronin,
Yes.
Jeff Harold,
Yes,
Matt Rose,
Yes.
Alex Walk.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night.
all right.
Next item on the agenda is regulated activity 1135. O'Shea Peter, 5 Oak Lane, and Michael Stirrup. Is he here?
Yes. No. Good evening. For the record, my name is Ralph Gallagher, professional engineer representing the applicant, Mr. O'Shea. Mr. Zirup, the expediter, is with me. However, he's not on Zoom. The application before you is for an addition to an existing house at 5 Oak Lane. Mr. O'Shea, the owner, combined 2 lots in order to do this because he needed area for not only the addition, but for a new code complying septic because his currently is not. He also is abandoning a well and connecting to the community water to do this. So it is a steep property. I'm sure anyone that's gone out there has seen. We propose to put the addition on piers, so there's no earth movement and soil erosion. But we are going to fill in some areas to get some level areas up top to create a golf cart path down to his, instead of 100 stairs, down to his current cabana on the water. So all of that is part of the application. We've shown erosion sediment controls. We're going to do it very carefully and fill with material that will not erode very easily, and do it at times when there won't be rain and erosion unexpectedly.
What does that mean? I'm sorry. Can I ask that question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I was asking a question, Mr. Chairman. Can I ask a question here?
Yes.
When you say when there's not going to be rain or water erosion, what does that indicate? I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Well, if we're going to do some filling, within a day or two, we want to make sure that the weather is not going to change rapidly and create some situation where we need some sort of emergency erosion. We're going to try to be proactive in watching the weather when.
Oh, I thank you. I see. I didn't understand what you meant by that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, Rich Janey, did you have a chance to look at this at all?
Briefly, I did not get a chance to prepare a project impact report. I did have a couple questions though, and I can work that out with Ralph.
Sure, go ahead.
Where is the golf cart path on here?
It's to the looking to the left of the property on the road. It goes around down to the cabana, like
Gotcha.
circling the where the below the septic.
Yeah, and so when you say, is that paved or is that gravel?
We're gonna have to pave it because if we gravel it, it's gonna be too steep. It's gonna erode, so we're gonna wind up having to pave that. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Have anything else, Rich?
No, I'll continue to review this, and I'll get back to you.
Anyone else have any questions, remarks? Motion to table is in order.
Motion to table regulated activity. I don't have it in front of me, whatever the number is.
11:35.
5 Oak Lane. Thank you.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, table regulated activity 1135. Roll call vote. Dr. Mary,
Yes, okay.
Jeff Harold,
Yes.
Matt Rose,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and the chairman says yes. Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Ralph,
Yes,
are you leaving us?
yes. Right. You want me to stay?
Well, under violations, we're going to discuss 197. Southern.
Oh, okay. No, I'll stay. Okay.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is regulated activity 1136. Philip Taubman. Mike Mizuko is representing him, single family dwelling on King Street. Mike?
Good evening, Mike Mizuko, professional engineer representing the applicant, Philip Taubman.
Bring your phone. Bring it.
It's 130A West King Street. It's a 5.8 acre piece that was part of a previous subdivision. It's in the R80 zone. It is unimproved, where it's partially wooded and there is some prior field that was probably farmland at one point. And the proposal is for a single family dwelling. There is approximately 0.08 acres of work within the regulated area. And if you want, I can share my screen and kind of just walk you through.
Would you please?
Sure. All right, is everybody seeing that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. So towards the west side of the property where it opens up and the majority of the land exists, there's a wetland line, and that was taken from the town clerk map number 10494, which was the subdivision map. And you can see that the dwelling is here, the septic, primary septic is here. There's a fieldstone wall that kind of runs here, which, delineated, farmland, they use those walls to sort of separate the good land from the bad land. And so that will remain. And the work that we have in the regulated area is really just encompassing the septic system installation. And it's an in-ground system, which is rare. So there's very little work in terms of disturbance and filling and cutting of material, as you can see here by the grade lines. And that goes hand in hand with the house. It's a 2-level, there's a walkout. And so we're just dropping the grade around the building to the walkout. And then the first floor, we have some grading just to get the driveway down. So it's a nice, easy approach into the house. It will have an on-site well. And other than that, it's a pretty straightforward, fairly low impact development, in my opinion.
What's the number again on West King?
It's 130A.
Okay.
So I think 128 is to the south and 130 is to the north.
Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, take it down, Mike,
Okay,
if you would, please.
sure.
Thank you. Rich, have you had a chance to give a thorough look at this yet or no?
Not a thorough look. I've had a cursory review, but I will do a deeper dive and get back to you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Motion to table is in order.
I'll make a motion to table.
I'll second the motion to table pending review.
Motion made and seconded to table regulated activity 1136 till our next regular meeting. Roll call vote. Dr. Mary,
Yes.
Jeff Harold,
Yes.
Matt Rose,
Yes.
Alex Wolf,
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Next item on the
Excuse me, Mr.
agenda is regulated activity 1137. This is single family dwelling again. Doesn't say where. Fisher Land and Sherbrooke Artel Engineering. Where is he? I know he's here somewhere.
At
There he is.
the- on my screen at the top. Good
Okay.
evening, for the record, Dinas Verbakis, professional engineer with Artel Engineering Group, here on behalf of the applicant for the proposed development of what was formerly known as Lot A, Lois Allen Drive. It's a 5.3 acre parcel that was approved back in 2003 as part of an addition to the Peterson Farm subdivision back in 2002, 2003, right around that time. This parcel is again about 5.3 acres in size, has about 1.5 acres of wetlands on it, and was previously reviewed and approved by the Environmental Impact Commission. It was application 479. And what we've done is picked up where the prior developer left off. And the prior developer, in keeping with the approval of the EIC back in 2003, installed the lion's share of the wetland related type work, which is driveway crossing across the wetlands, across the stream, and so on to the dry portion of the property. And what we've proposed is a home construction similar to what was previously approved. The home is generally in the same location. Septic system is generally in the same location as previously approved. And aside from what we've proposed, the only thing that we've done better with this proposal as opposed to what was previously approved is we've eliminated a small wetland filling associated with the driveway. If I may, I'd like to share the screen, if that's all right.
Right, Dennis. Yeah.
Oh, no. How's that? Did that pop up?
Yes.
Terrific. So I'm going to, I'll move this just a hair so we can see Lewis Allen Drive is at the top of the screen. The driveway coming in off of Lewis Allen Drive and across the wetlands, which run generally in this direction as my pointer is going. The driveway has been installed across the wetland, and the developer is able to get to the opposite side or to the dry portion of the parcel without any further disturbance required to this to that wetland crossing. On the original approval, there was a bit of wetland that was being clipped in this area here. And what we've done is we've pushed the driveway over a little bit, the proposed driveway over a little bit, and placed the retaining wall in a manner in which there'd be no wetland impact at all. Let me slide over to the side. In this vicinity of the map of the properties where the septic system has been proposed, basically because of the health code changes from 2003 to the most current version of the health code, things have gotten a little bit less conservative with respect to the system designs, or actually less conservative maybe is not the right term, but the health code is now dialed in to be better suited with the soils and the capacities of the soils. So because of that, because of health code change, we were able to make the septic system a little bit smaller, which eliminated the need to fill in the far reaches of the property here where we had originally proposed on the original plan. So we eliminated a retaining wall and substantial grading in this portion of the property. The septic system, because of the topography of the septic system, requires that we pump up to the better soils that are up on top here. And again, similar to the previous approval, we've got a force main that runs along the back property line. It's kind of equidistant between the property line and the wetland, and goes to the leaching system up above. So again, no impacts to wetlands. There will be about 7/10 of an acre of upland review area that is being impacted by the development, but again, no loss in wetlands, no direct impact to wetlands. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anyone have any questions while this is still on the screen?
I do not.
You take it down, Dinus, please.
All right. Thank you.
No questions, no remarks. Okay, Richard, you had a chance to do anything with this as yet?
Again, this one, I did a very brief review. I do not have a project impact report, but I will get back to you.
Right, thank you. No questions, no reports, so we need a motion to table, please.
Make a motion to table regulated activity 1137 to the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to table regulated activity 1137 to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Roll call vote. Dr. Mary,
I agree, yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Matt Rose,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Chairman, yes, it's in the vote.
Thank you,
Thank
folks.
you. Next item on the agenda is regulated activity 1139. SC Ridge Owner LLC Summit Development, 100 Reserve Road. I believe, Jim, Tom?
Yeah, I'll start, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name's Tom Beecher of the Collins Hannafin firm, and I represent SC Ridge Owner LLC, which is the applicant and the owner of this property. With me tonight are Paul Zemansky, who's the project engineer. Mary, Michael Basile from SC Ridge was trying to get in. Do you?
Oh, I'm very sorry. I see
That's okay.
someone's trying to get in. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
I should have a little ringer on my.
And Tony Rizzo Jr. was going to join us as well.
I don't see anybody else yet.
He might be late though.
Okay, I'll keep my eye on it. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
John Clancy of Clancy Moving Systems, Inc., the prospective purchaser of this particular piece that's the subject of the application, was unable to make it tonight. Let me just start by giving you an overview of this site and our proposed project, and then I'll turn it over to Paul to go through the specific site development proposal. This project site is approximately 29 acres. The 29 acres is part of an overall site that's 99.5 acres that is zoned PND. The 99.5 acre parcel has a 1.2 million square foot building on it, which is now known as the Summit. This entire property, including the large 1.2 million square foot building, was once the world headquarters for Union Carbide, built in 1982. The only other PND zone property in the city of Danbury is the reserve. And I know this commission's very familiar with the reserve. The reserve completely surrounds this 99.5 acre piece. This piece is sort of the donut hole in the middle of the reserve. When the zoning commission approved this property to be in the PND zone, the zoning commission approved a master plan for the entire 99 acre site. And that included developing this site with this warehouse and the smaller maintenance building. The zoning commission appreciated the fact that at this end of the property, we proposed this because it fronted on Sawmill Road. And this particular use would maintain some consistency with the former industrial zone, the IL-40 zone this property previously was in, and is consistent with the IL-40 zone that is that our property is just to the south of this particular piece. Clancy Moving Systems, Inc. is the prospective purchaser. In addition to the warehouse, Mr. Clancy intends to move his corporate offices to Danbury. The offices will occupy the second floor of the main warehouse building. The zoning commission approved all of this as part of the master plan. The plans that we filed with this commission show the main building as 191,850 square feet. But there's actually going to be 20,000 square feet of office on the second floor. So the building is actually going to be that building is going to be 211,850 square feet. But the footprint that you see on the plans submitted by Paul won't change. This particular project is not only good for us, but it is going to be good for the city of Danbury if it's ultimately approved. Now, with respect to this 29-acre site, the proposed access driveway in from Sawmill Road is at the southern end of this site where the existing access road is located. And this location makes sense because it's north of Woodlands Road, which is actually a private road that leads into and serves the reserve. This location keeps the driveway north of the existing wetland that is located in between Woodland Road and this access driveway. And this access driveway is located where pre-existing dirt access way currently exists. And locating this entrance drive even further north on Sawmill is not practical or doable at all because the grade gets much steeper from Sawmill up towards this site as you go north on Sawmill Road. And even further north, there is no access because there's private property in between this site and Sawmill Road. In terms of overall site management, there is land between the proposed building and the existing summit building that includes forested land and includes wetlands above this site, which will be a nice natural buffer between these two uses and these two buildings. And for the very same reason that I stated above about the main entrance driveway location, there is no other feasible or prudent alternative to getting to the northern section of this particular property other than via the proposed wetland crossing that Paul's going to give you the details about. This part of the property does not abut Sawmill Road at this end of the property, nor does it abut Reserve Road extension. So this is the only practical and feasible access point between the main building and up to the northern end of the property. There's a wetland that bisects this piece of property going in a east-west direction. But at this particular location where the proposed access is, it's only 400 feet wide, which is the narrowest point pretty much of that entire wetland that goes east to west. And so that's why it is also a logical point for the crossing. But this is a good time for me to turn it over to Paul and let him walk through the details of the plan with you. Paul?
Good evening, for the record, Paul Szymanski with Arthur Holland and Associates. If it's all right, may I share my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Oops. First, I'm going to show you the southern portion of the area that we are developing. The existing wetland system, I'll just make that a little bit bolder. The existing wetland system is located on the southern end of our development activity. We are proposing our access road, which is shown here, to follow basically the edge on the southern side that is closest to the wetlands. It follows the existing utility service road, which goes up to service the property, and also where the existing high pressure gas main is and other utilities are to serve the main building on the property. As we traversed up into the site, moving in an easterly direction, we do have, as I'm drawing in red, a proposed retaining wall to act as a physical barrier between the driveway access to the site and the wetland system itself. This allows us to have no disturbance directly adjacent to the wetlands and decrease any potential long-term impact to the wetlands itself. As we go to the rear of the building, there is a wetland system, which I'm showing in blue, which is up gradient from our proposed activity. So we are down gradient of that wetland system with our proposed activity. You can see the proposed warehouse shown in the central portion of the screen. Stormwater will be managed by a series of wet ponds, one in the southwest corner of the building, one north of the building. Those have been designed in accordance with the Stormwater Quality Manual. We're providing significantly above the 100% water quality volume requirement pre-treatment, and we're providing a zero increase in the peak rate of runoff for the 2, 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100-year storm events. As we travel towards the northern portion of the site, our only direct disturbance of the wetlands on site is located where we traverse to the northern portion of the property. So the right-hand side of the screen is where we just were. The building is located to the right on this map, and this is the existing wetland system. And so our crossing is right here. What we've done is we've field located any areas within the wetland system where there might have been some sort of concentrated discharges. They're very minor in nature. And what we've proposed is 5 pipe crossings in that area to mimic the existing concentrated flow. For the rest of the crossing itself, we're proposing a seepage envelope, wherein we remove the organic material within the wetlands. We place a filter fabric. On top of that, we place a medium riprap, which is a crushed, washed, angular stone. On top of that is a filter fabric, and then we place the road itself. What this does is this allows the hydraulic connectivity between the up gradient and down gradient wetlands to exist and function as it is today without incident. We're taking the runoff from the crossing where we have the paved driveway where it crosses the wetlands, and that discharges off to the side so that it can be treated in the detention pond located south of the wetland system. On the other side of the wetlands, there's an existing path, and that was used, I believe it was as an area of refuge for Union Carbide. And what we've done is we've been very careful not to have any disturbance between that existing path and the wetland system itself. And in other areas, we've maintained our disturbances up gradient of stone walls or other natural features. So not only can they act as physical barriers, but they can also act to disperse any stormwater runoff. On the northern side of the wetland crossing, we also have 2 wet ponds designed in the same manner as the others, which takes the runoff from the long-term tractor trailer parking in this area, as well as a maintenance building associated with this parking area. We have submitted the soils report previously prepared for this site, as well as in the process of, we are submitted today or submitting tomorrow, the entire drainage report just to demonstrate full compliance with respect to the stormwater quality in the 2002 Connecticut guidelines for sediment and erosion control. Be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Have any questions? Rich, you have anything to say on this? We did the on-site on this, didn't we, Rich?
We did. We took a peek at it. Hearing the physical barriers between the wetland and the proposed work, we did see those stone walls and that path, that existing area of refuge. I'm gonna have to take another big look at this. This is a lot to digest on this one.
Yeah, really.
And any questions you have, Richard, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to go over them with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions
Thanks.
at this time?
Oh,
Table.
Make a motion to table regulated activity 1139 until the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second,
Second.
motion made and seconded to table regulated activity 1139 to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Roll call. Dr. Mary,
Yes.
Jeff Harold,
yes.
Ann Rose,
Yes.
Alex Wolf.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, guys. See you
Thank
next
you.
meeting.
Thank you for your time, everyone. Greatly appreciate it.
You're
Have a great evening.
Thanks, Paul.
Excuse me, Mr. Gallo.
Yes.
I believe we should state when the next regularly scheduled meeting is.
What about it after? Yeah.
Yeah, but we can, I mean, I'm sure everyone has the schedule anyway, but it is October 13th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody all right with that? Everybody heard it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Moving right along. Next item on the agenda.
Just a moment, please, Mr. Gallo. Ralph Gallagher is just rejoining.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, he's joining for the violation. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Administrative staff actions. Action. 27 Augusta Drive. We looked at that, Richard and I, and what it was, it's just a cement pad. Rich, you want to speak on this, Rich?
Yep. It was less than maybe 200 square feet. Is maybe within about 25 feet of a upland review area. So it was not a direct impact. It was just a very cool air cleansing machine that the research facility needed to comply with state regulations. They did consider some alternatives of, different placement. However, the structures on the property wouldn't allow for it. So yeah.
Actually, it was questionable whether they even needed to come before us, but they did, and we did it administratively. No one has any problems, we'll move right along here. There was a few items that came up that Richard and I have looked at that didn't need, in our opinion, to come before us. There's something on Lake Wabika, Wagon Lane, Myrie Brook, and cleanup of the bridges after Hurricane Ida. We didn't think it was necessary to come before us and get through a couple of meetings for no reason. Anybody have a problem with this? You want to know about anything or? Okay, next item on the agenda. 197 Southern Boulevard. We had some violations. The guy not only was working in wetlands, he was working in wetlands on other people's properties. So we had a complaint. We went up, we looked at it. I sent a letter, a notice of violation. I contacted Ralph, and it's been a while getting this thing moving because the guy had to have a survey done. Right now, everybody's so busy. You're 5-6 weeks out on surveys. And finally that is done. And I think Ralph would maybe like to speak on this, Ralph.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman. Speaking on behalf of the gentleman that owns 197 Southern Boulevard. We got the soil scientist report, and then we waited weeks, like you said, for the survey from Paul Hyro. We just received it this past, I don't remember if it was Friday or Monday this week. So we will be working on it. We will be bringing in a mitigation plan to your next meeting. And hopefully you can review it and consider it for the next meeting.
Right, he needs to have an application too. Did he take one out yet?
Oh,
He needs to have an application too, Ralph.
okay. We'll fill out the application and get that going with him too. Okay.
Okay, Rich, you have anything to say on this? You'd like to add or?
No, it's there was quite a bit of fill.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get that fill out of there.
It was a mess. It was a mess. What it was, he was filling his back and at the same time was running over into the neighbor's property. Then he started filling behind his backyard. It's someone else's property. So we finally, I think we have it fairly well straightened out. We'll get him to get an application to come before us. But that's where we stand with that. Any questions on it or anything? Okay, finding none. Next item is discuss future meetings.
Thank you.
We did a quick, I guess we asked everyone what they thought about it. And for the most part, I think you people wanted to meet in a Zoom fashion. I prefer face-to-face with the public when they come. I think it's more effective for us, but just my own opinion. Anyone have anything they'd like to say on this? Everybody likes to do this from home. You like to do it, you'd rather go back to City Hall, or, I mean, we can still do this to, what, the next year, was it, Mary?
April 22nd, 2022.
Yeah, here it is. I have it. We can still limit this to April 30th, 2022. Depends what you want to do. You want to keep it the way it is? You want to, go ahead, Matt.
I personally have been enjoying the Zoom meetings, seeing even the materials when the applicants post and able to share their screen, and you know, when we're sitting up on the dais, a lot of times you can't even see the information unless it's been passed out. But also, you know, a lot of times our meetings don't last that long, and by the time you head over to the town hall, arrive, and if the meetings only are 15 minutes long, it's, you know, it's a commitment. It's all volunteer, but I think these are very effective.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, when will we even have a choice as to what we want to do with whether we want to go back to the old way or continue with the Zoom?
Up till April 30th, 2022, right, Kurt?
April 22nd.
Yeah, but could we do it sooner?
Yes.
30th, okay. Okay.
Could we go back to the old way prior to that?
If we so choose.
Yeah, but aren't there restrictions now about? So right now, if we wanted to, we can go back to the in-person meeting.
Yes.
With having to wear masks or something like that, right?
Yes.
Oh.
You're in favor of the way it is then, Alex? You like it?
Yeah, I would defer. It doesn't matter to me. I would defer to, well, your preference or anybody else's. It really doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Oh.
Thank you. Jeff, you have an opinion on this?
Yeah, I like meeting in person like you do. Plus, I'm only a 5-minute walk from City Hall.
Right.
So it's, I believe me, I understand Matt's position. For
Yeah, I
me,
do too. Some meetings are 5 minutes actually, but
yeah.
I just prefer the in-person, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
matter.
yeah, mine for mine, I'm not a good guy to guess because I'd go in person if I could.
Okay, thank you. Mary, did you have an opinion on this, Dr. Mary?
Only if my computer setup worked better, I would enjoy it more. But I mean, I would agree with them if everyone's comfortable in this fashion. You know, I'll go with that. I just wish I can get my setup working here better.
Okay. All right. I think we're going to stay the way it is. Especially Matt. Matt, you got to come from the woods in Fairfield almost. Okay, we don't have anything else on the agenda. Well, we have some correspondence. I'm sure everybody read it. And motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I didn't think we were voting for that. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to adjourn. Any discussion? Finding none. Dr. Mary?
Yes, adjourn, please.
Yes, okay. Jeff?
Yes.
Matt Rose?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo, yes. Motion's adjourned at 11:47. Thank you very much. I hope everybody had a nice summer, by the way. I did.
Yeah.
Not over
Thank you.
yet, despite what the calendar says.
Thank you very much.
Bye.